My name is Indovina, and this is Storytime about this weird little puppet I fed into AI to see if I could break it, and honestly, I kind of did. This is Spike. Spike looks like he crawled out of a miscellaneous craft drawer I have filled with decomposing craft scraps that I've had since the 1900s. He is part wolf, part taxidermy. I'm kidding. I didn't have a lot of time, maybe as a response to how I feel about sitting at a computer all day prompting this what do I own, what do I not own when it comes to generations, but mostly because my 2-year-old permits me to make things in his presence that absolutely forbids me from using my computer. I made him by hand using clay, fur, aluminum wire, glue, Mod Podge, and Panic. The usual. The whole point in me making Spike was to see what AI could understand without it first starting with something so perfectly smoothed into a style. Because, and I'm sure you've seen it, AI can make pretty convincing AI stop-motion animation style. Most AI stop-motion animation I've seen comes out very clean and polished and perfectly retouched. And it's a precious style, beloved by many. It was a style that has its roots in clay, was really developed further with Will Vinton Animation Studios, now Leica, with the California Raisins. You have to be real old to know that one. And AI can do that style in like 5 seconds. And to be honest, even as a person who trained in stop motion puppet making and animation, and who knows how insanely hard the craft is, I personally don't feel it's such a bad thing that people are borrowing the style to tell their stories. I am not here to be the stop motion animation police. If this particular style helps you tell your story, great, use it, make the thing. In my humble opinion, as a creative professional focused on style innovation, I think style should travel. I think it should be blended together with other things to make new visuals. But I was curious about the trade-off. There's no free lunch, people, because real stop motion animation puppets are very physical. They break and wrinkle and have fingerprints. Halfway through shooting Spike, his foot broke in half, which is really unhelpful when you're trying to pose a character. And if you use hot glue on your puppet, which many of us do, there are these tiny little strings of glue that just hang around, apparently, especially in black fur. Now, Spike is very primitive. Spike can bend his legs. He's sort of capable of a basic walk cycle. Puppets that you see in movies like Coraline, they have extreme machinery and joints that make them exceptional at movement. But Spike was really not for movement. He was made just to push the aesthetic. And yeah, because there's just like a ton of man-made oopsies, mistakes all over him. When AI imitates stop motion, it can sometimes give you the genre, but without the battle. What I mean by that is that man or women, man versus craft fur, wire, broken epoxy clay feet battle. So yeah, I built Spike to basically capture the physicalness of this. And then I photographed him, and then I popped him over into Photoshop, and I manually cleaned him up a little bit, tried more poses that are more difficult to achieve in real life with a half-made puppet. And then I tried to train AI on him. And what do you know? Things got really interesting. Because in spite of all his idiosyncrasies, when I look at Spike, I don't see mangled. I see intentional garbage. And that is a very delicate category. Like, yes, he is weird. He is lumpy. Yes, he has the energy of something discovered behind an abandoned Joann Fabrics. But he still makes sense. His face makes sense. His little punk spikes make sense. I think most importantly, what I'm saying here is his mess has a direction. But AI had a really hard time holding those two things together. It basically has 2 modes. Mode 1, oh, I can polish this turd. And then it turned him into everything you've seen before. A cute creature with nice lighting, cute little felt face, like tasteful woodland creature trauma. Very lovely and usable, but not my baby. Then there's mode 2. Oh wait, the user wants mangled? I can be mangled. And then it just went to war on my poor little puppet. It would turn him into something that looked like it could be found under a porch. Like evil in a way that's like not my kind of evil. Suddenly the face was misaligned and broken. The eyes were different sizes. Some had pupils. The body was too wrong. The fur was too chaotic. I mean, quite frankly, he just looked nasty. Like I personally physically would never make something like that. Not even if I was 5 trying to figure this out. And I kept thinking, no, that's not it either. Because while Spike is not polished, he's also not random. He lives in a very annoying middle place. Awkward, but alive. Broken, but specifically broken. Ugly in exactly just the right way. And that middle place is where AI genuinely starts to struggle. It could understand cute, it can understand destroyed, but it has a really hard time understanding this is wrong on purpose. This is messy, but directed. This is ugly, but it also kind of has taste. And this, my friends, is where I start to feel hopeful, because the machine could look at Spike and it couldn't replicate him perfectly. It could reference him, it could remix him, it could sand him down into a polished, perfect version of himself, but it had a really hard time preserving that exact thing that made him Spike. And I think that matters, because maybe originality and style is not some grand genius lightning strike. Maybe originality is just the stupid little mistakes you make because the material refused to behave. The fur looks matted and gross. The glue shows. The clay has fingerprints and microscopic little pieces of fur or hair stuck to it. The face gets a little weird because you're human and you're distracted and you didn't nail it. Spike originally didn't even have spikes. It's simply a product of the fur not behaving and me seeing the beauty in it. It has now become a part of his whole character and story. The only way this puppet could exist is because my brain panicked and I solved it weirdly. weirdly. And sometimes that weird solution is the style. So no, I don't think this means that AI is useless. Obviously not. AI is incredible when used in the right ways, but I do think this little freak taught me something. The mess and the puppet, or me, or you, is not extra. The mess is the entire point, especially when it comes to stop motion. The journey is the destination. And this journey, I'll tell you, I don't know, this stuff is getting real crazy. And yet I'm over here making a puppet by myself. Anyway, maybe the thing AI still can't fake is not the puppet. Maybe it's the fight I had to have with myself in order to make this thing. I mean, have you ever made a stop motion puppet? It's brutal. I would recommend it. It does feel a little bit like you're holding a baby. Cheers. But yeah, maybe we'll just make stop motion puppets and AI can innovate its own polished stop motion animation style. Maybe it's okay that they can look perfectly polished and move in a way that human puppets cannot. Maybe it's just a different kind of aesthetic emergence that happens when humans and machines collide. So yeah, that's my story on Spike versus the machine. If you're also feeling a little insane about art, AI, and whatever the century is doing to our brains, subscribe to stay in touch. I'm trying to build a space where we figure this all out together. And if you have thoughts, drop them below. I'll be there. Bye for now.